For decades, location, space, credibility of the builder, price, and familiarity defined the world of real estate. Well, they still do, but now buyers have evolved. They're also considering value additions. And this is where two powerful worlds are coming together: real estate and hospitality. Today, I have with me two very special guests who sit at the center of this evolution. First, joining us remotely from US, we have Kathryn Falconi, Global Head of Residential Marketing at Marriott International, one of the world's leading names in hospitality. Marriott International's branded residential portfolio brings together some of the most respected names in global living, including Westin Residences. And joining us in the studio, we have Navdeep Sardana, founder, Whiteland Corporation, a self-made first-generation entrepreneur. He built Whiteland Corporation on three foundations: expert teams, international partnerships, and a very sharp execution. Known for his keen eye and meticulous business insight, Navdeep recognized early that the future of luxury living would be built around experience, service, and world-class standards. Together, Whiteland and Marriott International are bringing Westin Residences Gurugram, a landmark in branded residences and hospitality-led living. Kathryn, Navdeep, welcome to the show. It's so wonderful to have you both here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for having us.
Navdeep, I want to begin with you. Your project, Hospitality Service Collaborators. We're looking at a new gentry that is looking at these projects. Were you always thinking of this trend when you started, or was it a part of your work DNA?
Honestly, Mugdha, I am not the trendsetter in this. I think DLF did this in their Phase 5 property, in their luxury segment. They have done a great work, and they had always been an inspiration. There's a lot of learning from them. People put a lot of hard-earned money in our projects and their trust in us. So that gives me responsibility and accountability to build something which is the trend of today. And in this, collaborating with Marriott has been the right decision. My father used to teach me, like, कि बेटा मेहनत से, ईमानदारी से, सच्चाई से काम करो, भगवान बरकत देगा. And the same kind of lesson, I learnt it from the Honorable Chairman of DLF, Mr. Rajiv Singh Ji. He once told me in a party that keep your head down when I was asking, give me some tips. So he said, keep your head down always and focus on execution. That would be the real key to success. And on those pillars, on that spirit, we are working. And so far, I think we are going good. All our projects are going on time, like quality conscious. All our commitments should be met to clients. This would be our endeavor. Rest, I think trends keep changing, trends keep coming. Ultimately, the foundation remains, the trust remains.
It's so wonderful to hear how you are giving so much credit to your contemporary. It talks a lot about your modesty and how you are looking at the whole landscape. Wonderful there. Kathryn, let me bring you here. And we're talking about branded residences. What has the experience been like when you look at these collaborations? What have the learnings been?
While branded residences are developed by those third-party real estate developers, Marriott International plays a critical role through that brand association, design guidance, and most importantly, the global service standards and that operational expertise. So you can imagine that drawing on nearly 100 years of hospitality expertise and 25 of those years in branded residences, Marriott also provides direct property management at the open residential projects and is hyper-focused on creating a deep sense of community with our residences. So with all that experience today, our owners around the world have chosen to live with Marriott brands because they trust in that consistency and curated lifestyle experience, whether it's in daily management of common areas and homeowner communities, or through that dedicated residential concierge service. Equally important, as we've seen over the years, is access to a broader ecosystem. Service goes beyond the walls of an owner's residence. We know that now. And at Marriott's global scale, our leading loyalty program in Marriott Bonvoy, and our recently launched owner recognition platform, Onvia, These all enable us to really provide those exclusive privileges and best-in-class service that our owners care for when they're traveling across their journeys.
I'm very intrigued to talk to you about Westin's brand equity and Marriott International's experience of coming together and collaborating with partners. How did this journey start for you, and what does it tell you about the real estate in India?
Absolutely. So what we've seen is that in today's world, real estate really is moving beyond that square footage, the specifications, and the amenities. Those are table stakes. So at Marriott International, we feel that that is where the Westin brand has a great opportunity to bring really meaningful perspective. So the Westin brand has always been rooted in that well-being, helping people live with more balance physically, mentally, and emotionally. So when that philosophy comes into a residence, it becomes even more powerful because home, when you think about it, is really where that well-being matters the most. And this thinking really comes alive in so many ways, in the design of the amenities and the communal spaces that enable residents to move, pause, recharge, reconnect, in social and recreational experiences that bring people together, fostering that connection and the communities. But if you go beyond the design, the real difference comes in, to answer your question, in that hospitality mindset. It's that warmth of being welcomed, that comfort of knowing that things are already going to be taken care of. The ease of living in a place where service is intuitive, thoughtful, and consistent, where residents feel supported, and I think perhaps most importantly, they feel cared for.
Very well said. Navdeep,
Yes.
the endorsement comes with a lot of responsibility, right? Your project is spoken about. It comes at a premium. And all that Kathryn has spoken about are things that come in that category. What shapes your commitment for this particular customer base? What are they looking for? What are you offering them which is so different from the rest of your contemporaries?
I think, thanks, Kathryn. As she explained, we will be building this product as per their design guidelines, their suggested consultants and designers, and they will manage the entire hospitality, which is the differentiating factor today in real estate. So, of course, there is a premium to it. How it is justified? We can have two perspectives to it. One, during the course of the development, starting from design, then landscape, lighting, club, all the amenities in the product. So very well thoughtfully, designed and well planned by the experts of the industry. Say, for example, Cooper Hills is designing landscape. Architect Hafiz is doing the main architecture, and lighting is done by ASA. And we had hired the finest contractor to execute. So one benefit to the customer, like he can be sure that when Kalpatru is building, when Ahluwalia is building, so he'll get the right product. Post that, as Kathryn said, so it won't be like amenities and just maintenance. So there would be a hospitality angle added to it. And that's why they bought it, and they are happy to pay that premium. And we are committed whatever we've been supposed to execute. So regarding that, we've been adhering to all the compliances, complete corporate governance and financial discipline. So I'm sure it would come a very great product. And let me add one more thing. So there are three major reasons. One is Golf Course Road, one is Extension Road, and another one is Sona Road. You can see a developer's same product on the same location, but in many of the projects, the products are maintained like average. And the project which is very well maintained, where there's a good club, concierge, and all the amenities are put together, are been well maintained and serviced from the hospitality angle.
Right.
So the product is commanding 2 to 3 times price in the market. So as Kathryn said, what is the differentiator? This would be the hospitality. However, the building is same, like it is like same blocks, same building, and by the same developer. any business functions on the customer's need.
Right.
So that we understand and we'll execute well.
Kathryn, as Navdeep very rightly pointed here, the premium comes because of the collaborations. Who you are collaborating with. What are they bringing to the table? What is that X factor or the secret sauce as we keep talking about? But even your own Marriott International collaborations come with a lot of scrutiny, come with a lot of brand endorsement, which is looking also at collaborators very, very minutely, how they work, how they project themselves. What has it been like working with Navdeep and Whiteland and the Westin project? And also, what is it that you're looking at when you're looking at these collaborations?
Yeah, I'm going to take a step back and really focus in on first, when we're working with these best-in-class developers around the globe. For Marriott International, what really stands out to us is when there's clarity around the intention of the project. So when we work on any branded residence, it is important and critical, right, that the developer understands the depth of this collaboration that we're speaking about here. It's not a superficial association. The brand really has to be integrated into the thinking of each project from the beginning. So we like to say the brand's just not on the building, it's in the building, and it's throughout every touchstone of the project's life cycle. And there also has to be a willingness to listen, collaborate, and align with the product and the brand's expectations. So with Whiteland, there is a strong focus from the team. And this project really represents a clear ambition to create something of extremely high standards.
Kathryn, is that a trend that you are looking at, not just in India, but everywhere else, in the emerging markets? What are the trends that are really striking? And it's so aspirational for also Indians to look at their own country and see that such projects are now available in their own country.
Absolutely. We want our buyers to look beyond just ownership around the globe. And we really want to drive in that consideration, that's the value beyond. So this is really in line with lifestyles of today. Busy cities, people work hard, they travel often, and they manage very demanding lifestyles. This is true across every region in the world. It varies by city and urban locations. But when they come home, regardless of where they are, they want homes that are going to reduce friction, that lock and leave lifestyle. And they want life to really feel easier and more seamless.
Well, I can vouch for that. I want my life easier and simpler after a hard day's work. And Navdeep, I want to get you in here. Buyers' expectations have changed, right? And we have seen that movement, I think, very strongly after COVID.
Yes.
That has changed so much in the last 5-6 years. ये जो ट्रेंड है, आप इसको कहाँ से इवॉल्व होता हुआ देख रहे हो? क्या ये पहले था कि ये अब और ज़्यादा हो गया है? और what is it that is bringing this whole movement together of wanting more from where I am? Who are the people I'm with? How am I interacting with them? How has that become so important suddenly?
Real estate and hospitality are becoming two synonyms now. I think in our culture, in our roots, it has always been there. Society living. In modern way, you can see gyms are serving here. And the club is that socializing factor. And for kids, there's a kids play area. The reason for these hospitality-led living is building because, as Kathryn rightly said, life is very busy, irrespective wherever you are in globe. So all CFOs, CEOs, businessmen, all startup founders. So what is the most precious thing according to you, for them? What do you think?
Well, I live in Bombay. Bombay में time नहीं मिलता है किसी चीज़ के लिए.
Yes. So this is one thing which you cannot control. So imagine somebody comes and saves his time, and he can better utilize his time on the productive things. And third, I think new generation is also helping. I recently met a boy, young kid, 19, 20 years old, and making a decision on his, on his own shoulders. They don't want to construct. And there is nothing wrong or right about it, but this is what it is coming. So here comes the concept of, complete ready solution. So putting all these things together as a society living where all the amenities are, this completes the whole ecosystem. And whosoever has provided in the history, if you see either in Bombay or Gurgaon, is really winning the game. Earlier there was a time when people used to ask कि मेरे को कोठी बनानी है, बंगलो बनाना है या प्लॉट चाहिए.
I would have the same question, लेकिन नवदीप, क्योंकि हम ये देखते हैं ये कोठी कल्चर तो दिल्ली की बहुत ही स्ट्रॉन्ग फाउंडेशन में है. Bombay is very apartment oriented, but do you see that culture change?
See, it would be unfair on my part to say that the plots and kothis and villas demands will not be here. It would be, but the point I am making here, where the demand is actually increasing, the condo living, which gives you a wholesome experience. Say for example, I am owning 4,000 square feet apartment and the complex is say for example in totality 20 acres, right? So the towers will be built in 8-10 acres.
But I have access to so much space.
I'm in fact owning the entire space, which is well maintained, well curated, well designed, well lit, and all the facilities at my doorstep. So this is the trend which is prevailing as of now.
Navdeep, you make a very good point about maximizing on the opportunity of what people are wanting today. They are more ambitious about the space they are owning, the facilities that are coming with it. And Kathryn, is that the trend you see across across the territories that you're working and collaborating with, that people are now more hungry about this community living, which comes with world-class hospitality and service? Because I do know US is very independent housing oriented country, but we are seeing such a big movement in these bigger cities where people are leading these very, very busy lives and they're traveling the world. So perhaps their ambition about where they're living is also to match their own houses with what they're experiencing across the globe.
Absolutely. And I want to go back to something that Navdeep said earlier about time. We do really feel at Marriott that time is the greatest luxury, right? So any way in which we're able to collaborate with these best-in-class developers to create lifestyles that are experiential-led, community-driven, that is what the branded residential space is really about. And so when you think about, from a global lens, in any conventional building, you're going to have safety, you're going to have maintenance and amenities. All of that is important. But when you bring in, as he was saying, that hospitality-led lens, the experience is much more considered. So simple way to look at it is the arrival feels warmer. The service is going to feel more intuitive. And the residential team on property is really going to understand how to engage with residents. They're going to get to know them and form deep relationships with them. The common areas, they're not just cleaned, they're actually cared for. And the amenities are not just built. We're seeing a lot of demand for a different array of amenities. And I think, they're operated with a certain standard. And also there's a vision for building, not just for what is, in today's world, but also what's going to be effective and resonate with future owners in a couple years.
Right.
And a great example, I'll just kind of simplify it, is the difference between food being served and food being presented with care. The ingredients might be equally delicious in both cases. It might look beautifully plated, but the experience really changes simply because of the way that it is prepared, served, and ultimately remembered. So when we take a step back, that is why branded residences continue to and have been so relevant, because they bring together that privacy of home and that service mindset of hospitality. And that is indeed, to answer your question, something that we see globally across all the projects we support and bring to life with our developers.
Yeah, wonderful. Navdeep, do you also see a shift in people who are now ready to spend? And there is awareness in the market about what I want.
Yes, I do. As long as they are getting the services, people are earning more, and the best part is like they are spending more now. So that is the trend.
I'm also hearing about your own ambitions about taking Whiteland to a much more respectable and a public space and going public as a listed company. What are those plans like?
No, Mugdha, listing is not the target, not the aim, not the goal. Like it can be one of the things in the part of the journey, but the aim and the goal for my organization is to build the trust. You see what bank does. What is the main strong asset bank has? Is it money or trust?
Of course, trust, yeah.
Yeah, money is important. In my case, the scale, the project dimension, and building the business with funds is necessary. But my personal goal and my company's goal is same. The foundation has to build on trust. People say, यार यहाँ job करनी है. Contractor and vendors आए कि यार इस company में काम चाहिए, right?
Yeah.
I want that trust to be built on Whiteland by the clients. कि यार ये अच्छा product देंगे, qualitative product बनाएंगे, time पे delivery करेंगे. And that is the goal. Listing is necessary these days.
Yeah.
So to bring transparency, to bring corporate strong governance, and maybe process oriented. So that is required. So that is the part of that journey.
What a wonderful conversation, Navdeep. Best of luck for all your future projects and for the big goals and ambitions that the company has. It was so wonderful talking to you, Navdeep. And
Thanks, Mugdha.
Kathryn, thank you so much for
Thanks,
your
Kathryn.
insights.
Thank you.
so very
It's been
much.
a pleasure.
With Whiteland Corporation and Marriott International coming together, this project reflects a larger shift in India's premium housing market, one where experience, credibility, and long-term value matters more than ever. And through our conversation today, we have seen how branded residences are not just about premium spaces, but about trust, service, design, governance, and a more evolved way of living. With that, it's a wrap. Thank you so much for watching.